Hey, what's up, y'all? I wanted to quickly just, do a little video because I haven't done a video on LinkedIn in a bit. Yeah, so today I announced that I've started a company with John McBride. It is called the Paper Compute Company, and we are working on distributed systems for agents. So that's a demo, but running self-healing software, and this we're like starting this with the orchestration part, and then actually we started with tapes, and then we did the stereos thing, and then we'll have an orchestration thing pretty soon. I did want to call out Luke. Luke, I actually know, spent some time at Netlify, not while I was there, but also Luke is hiring. So if you're looking for a job at Deepgram, reach out. But he asked a question of, curious how this would fit in his little tool, which is composite voice, build voice interfaces for the web. Now, luckily enough, I have been playing around with it for the past hour. I built a little tool. So shout out to Deepgram. I created a little account. Hopefully there are no keys here. Okay. But you get 200 credits, $200 credits. I don't work for Deepgram. Luke does. But I thought that was really cool. Immediately was able to get credits. I do see my project ID, but I think that's fine. But anyway, I got $200 in credits. So I figured why not spend $1 testing out Luke's project. Everything you need for voice, event-driven architecture, type AI is cool. Yeah, sounds pretty good. Now, I have been messing around with this tool called Tapes. Tapes is a project that I was going to say open source. We're not doing open source anymore. That Paper Compute we've been building, John and I. And specifically, it's telemetry for agents, not agent telemetry. There's a difference. But anyway, a telemetry for agents, it's a transparent proxy. And I actually have a blog post on this if you're interested in looking at the Paper Compute blog. But it sits man in the middle and observes all telemetry that goes through the proxy for LLM. So should be like your tokens, and then prompts, messages, latency, all that stuff. And I'm collecting that for this little voice agent. I specifically have, looks like it's been listening. Let's refresh. Cool. So I didn't know it was listening this entire time. It was like it was probably going to jump in and respond. I also don't know if this is going to actually have any audio back. So this would actually be unfortunate if it didn't. It will probably pick up in my mic if it doesn't though. So let's just go ahead and just go for it. So this is composite voice. It's going to be a way to kickstart your voice agent. On the right is all my tapes telemetry.
Got it. So you're building a voice agent framework and monitoring the telemetry in real time on the right side. That's a smart way to iterate and see what's working.
Man, I really hope the voice was there. But you can see like telemetry. So you can see the latency. So it took about like average for the text to speech to respond. That was actually a longer response. The milliseconds is collectively of the response time as well.
Yeah, that latency matters for voice. Users notice delays over a few hundred milliseconds. So if your text to speech is adding significant time, that's definitely something to optimize.
Okay, I've already cut that off in the edit. But what I'm going to do... Oh, is it still listening? You should not be listening. How do I click the mute? Okay. Anyway, there's a bug in my code. But basically, it's like capturing the runs. The one thing I did want to test is I wanted to say hello, I'm Brian. So save that to your memory.
Got it. I've got that. Good luck squashing that bug.
Cool. So the one thing I want to point out is that I have a memory. So the one thing that I've been working on is observational memory based on this telemetry. This is actually not part of tapes. This is like what you do with tapes. So this is like table stakes for what you're working with. You're working any sort of chat agents. Here, it's going to store stuff like I work at home.
That's smart. Using telemetry patterns to build observational memory.
And I'm going to kill the server because this is too much. Anyway, this is not a super canned prep demo, but basically I just wanted to point out that there are certain keywords that I have to store memory. So basically the observational memory is how I was able to keep context. So that way when I start this thing again, it's going to know my name is Brian. It's going to know I work from home. I actually didn't save that to state because I don't have a database for this yet. Everything's stored in memory. Well, ironically, it's stored in memory. All right. Recorded the whole video, but then I just stopped it and then cleaned up a bunch of stuff. So now I have a way to go back to previous sessions. I can see the cost and memory and anomalies. Anomalies actually I just got fixed, so I'm going to actually test out into the conversation. So let me start a new session, and this is going to clear the same way that we clear sessions with Quad Code or whatever. And we'll start here. Hey, you on?
Hey, Ralph. Yeah, I'm here and ready to help. What's up?
Oh, yeah, offline I said my name is Ralph, but I'm actually Brian again.
Got it. No problem. So you're Brian. What can I help you with?
I'm
His
actually...
name is...
Oh, sorry to interrupt. I realize I can interrupt you as well. I'm actually just testing out the Deepgram API.
No worries at all. Yeah, feel free to jump in anytime. That's what I'm here for. How's the Deepgram API working out for you so far?
Good. Do you know anything about the API? Do you like any sort of functionality or features, models?
Yeah, Deepgram's pretty solid for speech to text. Their Nova model is fast and accurate, and they've got good real-time streaming support. I'd especially highlight their low latency performance and speaker diarization features if you need those kinds of things.
Cool. So I ended up getting a latency spike. I have no idea why, but so basically what I'm getting at is there's a bunch of stuff that, and it's weird that it's muted. You should be not listening. For whatever reason, the mute button, I just cannot figure this out. I'll fix that later. But what I'm getting at is I got a latency spike. Anything over 3 seconds for a response, I just set for issues potentially. I don't know what's flashing, but what I'm getting at is I have anomalies. I've got traces. The best part about tapes.dev is that you get telemetry, you get traces, you get history, you get search. It's all built within the open source project. If I wanted to generate skills from that session, I can as well. Actually, skills would be perfect for this because I was asking questions about the Deepgram. I have no idea about the Nova model, but it'd be great if I can, in my text-to-speech application, just say, hey, switch over to the Nova model, or increase the skill for that. So the opportunity here is this collecting telemetry. What you do with it is whatever you want at this point. But I called this out because specifically, Luke was asking, this is it, observational memory that you could store to improve the agent's experience next time around. Things that I did notice is it uses Haiku for a lot of the TTS stuff. Because it's using Haiku, I could probably use a local model like Kimi 2 or Minimax or even Quinn. But there's other models I can leverage. And the way I can test this is I can collect this telemetry data from my agent and then pass it to go either train or fine tune. I say these like buzzwords, but like legitimately there's a bunch of tools that make this a lot easier to do. A lot of times you'll get to the end of the context window, you get to a session that fails because like maybe Claude's having a bad time that day. At least you still have the telemetry saved if the session gets killed. The one thing we're actually going to be working on soon is we're going to have a cloud experience that you could essentially have your session saved in the cloud as well. I just wiped the machine. I wanted to specifically have all my sessions that are local on my machine go to the cloud, so that way if I ever wipe my machine or switch to a different machine, I could still have access to those sessions and continue work. Because I think every time you close your laptop or you start a new session or you start a new agent, like that's actually super valuable data, and we're just letting it rip or just letting it delete itself after a while. That's it. Hopefully, Luke, this was helpful. We'll probably try to cut this down because this was like a weird demo and I had a bunch of bugs in it, but yeah, I'll do that. And if anybody's interested in talking about the Paper Compute Company and running self-healing software and like this observational memory thing, I think actually a pretty fun little project. I might actually just throw this up on a repo. Cool thing about this is in the repo, which I haven't done yet, I'm just going to go check with tapes and just create a walkthrough on how to set this up yourself. So if anyone's interested, check out, I guess I'll call this like Deepgram under the Paper Compute organization. I'll drop a link or I'll put it like a screen grab at this point. Put it on paper. See you in the next one.